No more the meek and mild subservience we. We're fighting for our rights militantly.
Imagine for a moment that you are a writer, a storyteller. Someone brings you a little-known historic tale that clearly changed the path of American history. Imagine next that you research and discover horrific details about this story that inspire you to write a screenplay. That screenplay then becomes optioned for an HBO movie that ends up winning Golden Globe, Emmy, and SAG awards. Such is the story of Jenny Friedis and her screenplay for Iron-Jawed Angels, the little-known story about suffragettes led by Alice Paul, who were tortured and jailed over fighting for a woman's right to vote. Friedis' Iron-Jawed Angels screenplay brought Alice Paul's story under a national spotlight. But the two women's connection doesn't end there. It in fact continues on today, 18 years later, as Alice Paul was recently designated as one of 5 women to soon be featured on the $10 bill. Evidence of the power of a well-told story.
I was researching and writing at the same time, but I would say 9 months to get the whole thing done.
And was it easy? Or did you struggle? Was it a challenge in any way?
That one wasn't that hard. Subsequently, it has been. The research was easy because of my legal background. See? Yay, law school. But the writing of it, I am a rewriter. I probably put in 800 pages to my 120 pages, down to 113, I think. I rewrote. I had a table reading where I had all my friends come, and we all took parts, and we read it out loud to hear it out loud, and then I rewrote it again. That was kind of fun, actually.
Did you like it when you heard it out loud that first time?
Some of it, and some I didn't. Some
but
I
were
was
you
like,
excited by the fact that you liked any of it? Like, I would have been
it was really fun. I got a lot of positive feedback.
Sure.
It was just a shocking story, to be honest. And so I think that's the thing that was the hook that actually worked.
Did you find yourself becoming separated from the real world and becoming immersed in the world of these women in any way?
Yes. I mean, I would be thinking about it all the time. I would wake up and write notes in the middle of the night. I'd sleep poorly because I'd be excited about it. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing for me. Like, I like that. I like to get immersed like that.
So you finish in 9 months.
And then it probably took another 9 months to sell.
And so in that 9 months of selling, how did you start? What did you do? Did you rely on your brother-in-law to guide you?
I did. I gave it to my brother-in-law first. He gave it to a friend of his, Vanessa Koifman, who was probably my biggest initial fan, other than Bobby, my brother-in-law, who was helping me. And anyone who's willing to read this thing, I wanted to read it and give me comments. When you have these kind of things, you have to be willing to take the hit and put it out there. And that's scary, especially if you feel like it's maybe half done or not quite,
Did you feel it was done when you handed it off?
I felt like it could probably be improved, and I felt like I put it to where I could put it. Selling it was almost all Vanessa in a way, because Vanessa gave it first to one producer who decided it wasn't for them, and then she moved production houses, gave it to another producer who said, we'd like to bring it to HBO. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah. When they said they wanted to buy it, I mean, that was exciting. It was made in 2004, but I sold it in 1998. It took a long time to make.
Once you make the agreement to sell, are you like the mom sending the kid off to college? Bye-bye.
Yeah, it actually is. I have likened it to having a baby, because once they buy it, they can do whatever they want to it. You
have no artistic control.
You have nothing. So you really, and it's like giving birth to a thing, to something that is now its own entity. Mm-hmm. It's a risk. It feels scary to send it out there. Is it finally done? This thing that you've been living with for months and months and months, is it really done enough, and will they respond to it and like it? Because you like it now, and you love it even. And do you give it to other people to either tear apart or love?
Right.
And
you want to go with it?
Yeah.
If I can just explain it to them.
Right, exactly. Right. And I did get a chance to, I went out there, they flew me out there for a meeting. They flew me out on the plane next to Juliana Margulies. So it was really funny. I was like, I wanted to talk to her. I said, hey, there's a part in this movie for you. And I wanted to
casting, moving on to casting.
Right. I was already casting. I actually saw her at the Golden Globes 7 years later when Angelica Houston had been nominated for a Golden Globe, and I saw Juliana Margulies at a party, and I said, I don't expect you to remember this, but this was a big deal to me, and she couldn't have been nicer about it. She was like, well, congratulations for being here. I mean, so it was really a very funny circular moment. And she actually had been mistaken that day by a photographer for Julia Ormond, who had been in the movie. They said, you were great in Iron Jawed Angels. I was like, yeah, could have been.
So was HBO good to work with?
They were.
Did you get a say in the rewrite around the table? Or were you just there to listen?
The rewrite, they had notes. They wanted certain things in it. Some things I thought I could do and some things I didn't think I could do. And I did.
Really? Like what? What couldn't you do?
If I recall, there was a love interest desire. What is Alice Paul's sexuality?
Did she have a relationship in real life?
We don't know, but we do know that she lived with a woman until she died in 1977, I think. And I believe she lived with a woman for most of her adult life.
So it would lead you to believe that she was lesbian.
Maybe. Or maybe this
not.
was the era and they lived together. We don't know, but we don't know.
Right.
And I didn't want to write something that was so historically maybe important to who she was inaccurately. With the rewrite, I don't know that they were even telling me notes that they really cared about. I negotiated for a rewrite. I think they were letting me go through the motions of a rewrite.
Did you rewrite?
And then I rewrote
physically?
it. I rewrote it and I wrote an annotated version. I told them where I got every fact that I got.
Oh, wow.
So, and that was hard. Because I had to go back over all of my notes, find footnote basically my entire script. And I think they probably scrapped the whole thing.
All your rewrites, you mean?
Yeah. Sally Robinson wrote the final script, and if she wrote it de novo, which I believe she might have, basically, they gave her materials, said, write the script. It reflected enough of what I had originally done, either coincidence or not, it goes to arbitration when there's multiple writers. You write an arbitration statement why the final shooting script is
You have to endorse
part
it?
of yours. And so I got sole story credit. Because the first writer gets story credit unless everybody can show that they have less than 50% of the story. And then partial writing credit. So it was from, again, law school might have helped the arbitration statement.
Yes.
But the dialogue was very different. I mean, I can't lay claim to it. I just can't. I didn't.
Is that disturbing to you?
It's a collaborative art form. And I now really see that. I see how collaborative filmmaking is. And so many parts go into it. Director decisions, acting decisions, writing decisions, producing decisions, budgetary constraints, marketing constraints. There are so many things that go into it. So now I'm really much less possessive over my story, my script. That's not what it's about. And really, to me, it's Alice Paul's story. And it's her story that needed to get out there. The essence of that did. And so I'm thrilled with it.
Does it make you feel as if you have a part in history in any way?
Yes. I do not want to overstate what I really did. But there's no question to me, the fact that Alice Paul is going to be on that $10 bill, and they're kidding me, I'm totally taking credit for that. I'm not taking, but I just think that, gee, would that have happened? Would they have known about her if I
Without
didn't
Iron
do
Jawed
this?
Angels.
Without Steve telling me about it, and without us moving this ball forward?